Lieutenant Anya Sharma stood in the humid air of the training grounds, her body exhausted, her spirit beaten down. Another drill, another failure. The simulated ambush was a total disaster. Her squad was eliminated in a matter of seconds, their digital sensors flashing red. Anya felt the familiar hot shame creep up her neck. The other soldiers avoided her gaze, their frustration. A tangible weight in the oppressive heat. They respected her physical strength, her endurance, her ability to outrun any man in the unit. But in the chaotic ballet of combat, she was a liability. She froze. She hesitated. Her decisions were always a step too slow. A moment too late, her mind, a swirling storm of possibilities when it needed to be a clear, swift-flowing river. Her commanding officer, Captain Rodriguez, walked toward her, his face a mask of disappointment. He did not yell, he did not scream. His silence was far more punishing. He simply shook his head, a slow, weary motion that spoke volumes. "Sharma, you are a natural athlete. Your physical scores are off the charts, but this is not a track meet. This is war. You are a danger to your team. And to yourself." He said, his voice was low and gravelly. Anya had no reply. No excuse. She knew he was correct. She felt the truth of his words in her bones. She had been a prodigy at the academy, an expert marksman, a master of close quarters combat in controlled environments, but the unpredictable noise, the fear, the split-second choices of a real-world scenario paralyzed her. They had failed 3 combat drills in a row because of her inability to lead under pressure. Her men were losing faith. Their trust in her was eroding away with each passing mistake, a crucial element for any leader, especially in a military context. The next day brought a new challenge, a full-scale urban assault simulation. The scenario was complex with hidden snipers and a moving target. Anya's stomach was a tight knot of anxiety. She knew she would fail again. She felt the weight of her past failures on her shoulders, a heavy cloak of doubt. She watched her squad move into position, their faces grim, their expressions serious. They were good men, and women loyal and disciplined. But she could feel their quiet desperation. They knew what was coming. Another mistake, another failure, another moment of profound disappointment for everyone involved. The simulated gunfire began a staccato rhythm of chaos. Anya's mind went blank. The sounds, the movements, the endless choices all blurred into a deafening roar. Her hands trembled on her rifle. She saw her point man go down a virtual bullet to the head. She could not react. She could not give a new order. Her brain simply stopped working. The drill was over before it had even truly begun. Her heart sank, a lead weight in her chest. Another failure, another blow to her self-worth. As they regrouped, a figure appeared on the horizon, a tall, lean man in a black tactical uniform. He walked with an easy grace, a quiet power that radiated from him. It was Commander Thorne, a SEAL, a living legend. A man whose reputation preceded him, a man who had seen more real combat than anyone she knew. He was an observer for the next phase of their training, a silent judge of their performance. Anya felt a new wave of humiliation wash over her. A SEAL commander would see her failures for what they truly were: a profound lack of courage, a fatal flaw that could never be fixed. She felt his gaze on her, a penetrating look that seemed to see right through her. To the core of her fear, he did not look at her with judgment or disappointment. He looked at her with a quiet curiosity, a deep intensity, as if she were a puzzle to be solved, a problem to be fixed. Commander Thorne spoke to Captain Rodriguez. His voice was calm and measured, but it carried an undeniable authority. "I have seen enough of the drills," he said. He turned to Anya, his eyes holding hers. "Lieutenant Sharma, a word." He did not wait for her to agree. He simply walked toward a quiet corner of the compound, a place away from the noise and the other soldiers. She followed him, her boots scuffing the dusty ground. She felt a mix of dread and resignation. This was it. This was her official dismissal from the program, a final verdict on her unsuitability for combat leadership. She was ready for it. She was prepared for the blow. But what Commander Thorne said next was not what she expected. It was something else entirely, something that she did not understand at all. "Lieutenant, tell me about your home." He said. His voice was not a command. It was a question, a quiet invitation to a strange conversation. Anya was taken aback. What did her home have to do with her combat failures? She hesitated, then began to speak. Her voice was soft, her words, "We're a little unsure. I grew up in the country, a small town surrounded by hills and forests. She said. He nodded his head encouragingly. The trees, the birds, the animals, what did you do there? He asked. I hunted, I fished, I spent my days in the woods. I learned to be quiet, to move without sound, to observe everything around me. The smallest rustle of leaves, the slightest change in the wind. I could tell what was coming before it arrived. She said. A hint of passion crept into her voice, a fondness for a life she had long since left behind, a life that seemed a million miles away from this military base. Commander Thorne smiled, a rare, genuine smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes. Exactly, he said. His voice was a low whisper. You are a hunter, a stalker, a tracker. You are not a soldier. Anya's heart sank. I am a soldier, sir. I have trained for years to be one, she said. No, you are a hunter, he repeated. Your mind is designed to observe, to wait, to strike with precision at a single moment, not to lead a charge, not to think about 7 different things at once. Your mind is not built for a chaotic battlefield. It is built for a quiet forest, he said. His words were not an insult. They were a revelation, a diagnosis, a new way of looking at her own failures and weaknesses. He saw her for who she truly was, a patient observer, a silent killer, not a loud commander in the middle of a gunfight. The next day, Commander Thorne gave Captain Rodriguez a single order, an order that shocked everyone, a simple sentence that would change everything. Sharma will lead the team, but she will not be the first to engage, he said to the captain. She will be the eyes and ears. The silent observer. The final word, a hunter in the machine. The order was strange, unorthodox. It went against all conventional military strategy, but Captain Rodriguez trusted Commander Thorne. He gave the command to Anya, his face a mix of bewilderment and faith. Anya felt a rush of both fear and hope, a terrifying new responsibility, but a chance to use her own natural gifts. A chance to succeed where she had failed so many times before she took her position. A spot on a rooftop with a clear view of the entire simulated battlefield. Her team moved below their faces, tense, their rifles ready to fire. Their bodies were prepared for the chaos. But Anya's mind was prepared for the stillness, for the silence before the storm, for the small details that others would miss. The very things that she was a master of. The drill began again. A simulated attack on a fortified position. The air was thick with tension and the smell of cordite. Anya's heart pounded in her chest, but her mind was calm. She was not a soldier anymore. She was a hunter. She was in her element. She watched her team move like a predator stalking its prey. She saw the hidden sniper on the rooftop of a building 300 yards away, a small glint of light from his scope that no one else would have noticed. Sniper, 300 meters north. Building 3? She said into her radio. Her voice was calm and steady. A new authority in her tone. The team reacted immediately, taking cover. A virtual bullet missed them by inches. They were safe because of her. A success because of her. Ability to see what others could not see. A feeling of triumph swelled inside her. A feeling she had not felt in a very, very long time. A profound sense of purpose and belonging, a feeling that was worth more than 1,000 promotions or 1,000 medals. A feeling of being a true soldier, a true leader, a true hero in her own right. The drill continued to unfold. The enemy was in position. Their movements were a flurry of noise and chaos. But Anya saw the patterns. She saw the gaps in their defenses. She saw a subtle change in the wind that would allow her team to move undetected. She was a ghost, a silent observer, a master of her craft. She directed her team with a series of quiet, precise commands. Move left now, take the alley, wait for the wind to change. Her voice was a constant presence, a guiding force, a beacon of calm in the storm. The team began to trust her. They began to follow her orders with a new confidence. They saw her skill, her focus, her dedication. They saw that she was not a soldier who had been failing. She was a hunter who had been misplaced. They moved as one, a single organism with a single mind, a mind that belonged to Anya, a hunter's mind, a mind of quiet patience and deadly precision, a mind that was now a weapon far more powerful than any rifle or grenade. The final moment of the drill was a quiet one. Anya directed her team to a final position, a small courtyard surrounded by buildings. Wait for my signal. She whispered into her radio. She saw the main enemy unit moving into position, a large group of men walking right into a perfect ambush. She waited for the exact right moment, the moment when they were all in the open, all vulnerable, all completely unaware of the threat. "Fire," she said. Her voice was a clear and concise command. The team opened fire and the simulated enemy was eliminated in a matter of seconds. A perfect victory, a flawless execution, a final testament to the power of Commander Thorne, is single order, a testament to her own courage, her own skill, her own strength. When the drill was over, Captain Rodriguez walked toward her, a smile on his face, his eyes filled with a new and profound respect. "That was the best execution of a drill I have ever seen." He said, his voice was filled with a genuine admiration. Her teammates cheered their respect for her. Now, undeniable and real, they had seen her transform from a liability to an asset, from a timid soldier to a confident hunter, from a failure to a profound success. She had earned their trust, their loyalty, their unwavering respect, a bond that was forged in the fire of shared triumph, a bond that would never be broken again. Commander Thorne walked up to her. His expression was one of quiet pride. He simply nodded at her, his eyes saying what his lips would not. "You found your place, Lieutenant." He said, his voice was soft, but full of meaning. Anya nodded back. Her heart was full of a joy she had never felt before, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, a sense of being exactly where she was meant to be, exactly who she was meant to be, a hunter in the machine, a silent killer, a hero in her own right, a true soldier at last. The story of Anya Sharma and the single order that changed everything became a legend in the training grounds, a tale of a SEAL commander who saw a different kind of strength, a different kind of courage, a different kind of hero, and a story of a soldier who learned that true power is not always in the command, but in the observation, in the quiet stillness, in the moment before the storm, in the eyes of a hunter who knows exactly what to do and when to do it. A lesson for everyone, a lesson about looking past the obvious and finding the true potential that lies within a story that would inspire generations of soldiers to come to be themselves, to find their own path to their own unique victory. A story that was a testament to the power of one single order that gave a failing soldier the key to her own success, and a story that was a new and glorious chapter in her life, a new beginning filled with purpose and triumph.